Black people are not good people. You should be afraid of black people. How's that sound? No. Mexican people are not good people. You should be afraid of Mexican people. No, it's still not sounding quite right. Yellow people, Asians, are not good people. You should be afraid of yellow. Do you hear how ridiculous it sounds, regardless of the color? Right? Like, or quote unquote color. Oh my goodness. Michael Moore. This guy, he got big off of that Fahrenheit 9/11 documentary. And he really is one of the godfathers of the documentary being given so much credence and, really rising in popularity over, I want to say, like the last 15, 20 years. And he's part of the reason why we got the Central Park 5 one, or the Leaving Neverland, or the R. Kelly one. Seriously, Oprah completely swag-jacked the documentary game, right? Oprah and her cronies of Ava DuVernay and the like, they completely swag-jacked the documentary game. But Michael Moore was one of the first ones on it. And I've been saying on this channel for a while now that 2016 really showed everyone's true colors. Everyone. I mean, if you are a happy puppet, 2016 really put it on full display. And Michael Moore was a part of that, because he did this speech in where he said that he pretty much called that Trump was going to win. He was like, look, people are tired of the establishment. They want to send a big FU to Washington, and that's what Trump is. And so he was right. He was 100% nail on the head. But here it is, 3 years later, and he's still just running his yappa. It's like he's not even listening to himself. All right. Let's press play on this right quick. 44 minutes, Jesus Christ.
What's going to happen to me? I mean, I'm not saying they want black people poisoned, but it's kind of like, okay, we've got some time. We'll figure this out. We'll keep it quiet.
It's not urgent.
Not urgent. No. Why would it be urgent?
Okay, so quote unquote black people have been poisoned. We've been poisoned since the 70s and 80s, like really, really poisoned when it comes to the culture and it comes to a lot of the chemicals that are being put in, products that are mainly targeted towards the urban demographic. But let's keep going with this, because this is like a 44-minute podcast, and I don't want to sit here and just keep going and going and going without it being interesting. So let's see where it goes.
Black.
Yeah. That was.
And I'm sick of. I refuse to participate in post-racial America. I refuse. To say because we elected Obama that suddenly that means everything's okay. White people have changed. White people have not changed. The 2/3 of all white guys voted for Trump. That means anytime you see 3 white guys walking at you down the street toward you, 2 of them voted for Trump. You need to move over to the other sidewalk. Because
why? Like, you hear how he's going against his own narrative. He himself stated exactly why Trump got elected. It was a big FU to the establishment. It really had nothing to do with race. It had more to do with the fact that what we thought we were getting with Obama, we never received. And so, Trump was the antithesis to that, and folks ran with him. And those numbers, since he's been in office, have done nothing but increase. Primarily because he has no real competition as far as blue teamers go. But on the same hand, he's also done a lot of the things that he said he'd do, which is completely different than what we've gotten over the past, 10, 15 years in the United States. Let's go a little bit further. Oh, you need to walk across the street. Like, you literally sound like they used to sound back in the 80s, right? When it came to quote unquote black people. Like, oh my goodness, like, you clutch those pearls and run across the street when you see 3 white guys walking. Like, come on, man. That is so, it really, there was a study that said, that recently came out where, those of a lighter hue are the only group without an in-group preference, meaning that white people don't particularly like themselves so much. I don't get it personally. But it's not for me to get. But my man Mike Moore right here is just dripping with it.
These are not good people that are walking towards you. You should be afraid of them.
And the third one probably says, I'm thinking.
They're not good people simply because they voted for Trump. Do you hear the Hollyweird just bloviating from this man's mouth? Do you hear the indoctrination? Do you hear that line of reasoning where just because you did this one thing over here by voting for Trump, you are now automatically, you sit there, you are automatically part of the Klan. This is so damn ridiculous and so filled with emotions. Like I'm honestly just feeling soy-filled talking about this nonsense because it's infuriating because I actually really liked Michael Moore. You know, I liked his documentaries. I liked his style. I thought, like, you know, he was a rational human being. Unfortunately, that's turning out not to be the case.
Thinking about voting for Trump, right?
Yeah, the third one is you and me.
Yeah.
Right. We're traitors. We're traitors to our race. That's how they see us too, by the way.
Right.
You know, we were thinking.
Is it how they see you, or as traitors to the race, or just buffoons? Because from what I've been able to gather, you're more seen as a buffoon than some type of race traitor. That's just, no, I'm sorry. That we no longer live in that time. And I'm not saying that, oh, we live in a post-racial time. Racist shit happens all the time. But it's been happening. It's been in the most subtle of ways. And it's been really like, I'm not talking about microaggressions. I'm literally talking about the sabotaging of the school systems, the prison farming that's taken place throughout urban America. Like, these things were before Trump. These things will continue after Trump. These things were before Obama, and they clearly continued after Obama. So, like, oh my goodness, a little bit more.
We've been debating whether or not to go to Trump's rally in Battle Creek, Michigan tomorrow night. I love that it's in Battle Creek.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know, I know Battle Creek really, really well. It's the city that invented breakfast, as we know it.
Yeah, it's on the back of every cereal box.
Yes,
Right.
both Kellogg's and Post are there in Battle Creek.
You know why cornflakes was invented? Was to stop masturbating, not stop masturbation. Seriously, the guy who created cornflakes was like, hey, if you eat this in the morning, you're not gonna jerk off so much. Oh man, it really is sad to see people, like, you know, deprecating themselves so ferociously. And like, once again, like, how do I put it? You know, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Because I am black, even though that's heavily debated, I don't want, you know, anyone to sit there and say, oh, well, because you're white and you voted for Trump, you're this, that, and the third. When no, the likelihood is just slim to none. I'm sorry. One, like, correlation and causation are not the same thing. Okay. Let me read a little bit of this this article, because it's kind of like a recap of what we just watched, but at the same time, I get to flex my reading skills a little bit. Michael Moore declared that white people are not good people and that you should be afraid of them in an interview on the Rolling Stone podcast, Useful Idiot. Well, I mean, they put it right there in the name, right? Useful idiot. Like, he clearly is a useful idiot for the same establishment that he claims to fight against all the time. Like I said, in 2016, everyone showed their true colors. You are nothing more than an establishment fucking pawn, Michael Moore. And it's sad. Moore warned people that if they see a group of 3 white men approaching them, that they should cross the street because at least 2 of them voted for Trump. Word. And it's not even that there's they got chains, or, you know, they're like skinheads, or they got, like, you know, a noose in their backpack just because they voted for Trump. You freaking pussy. I refuse to participate in post-racial America. Moore said, I refuse to say it because we elected Obama that suddenly everything is okay. White people have changed. White people have not changed. 2/3 of all white guys voted for Trump. That means anytime you see 3 guys walking at you, 3 white guys walking at you down the street towards you, 2 of them voted for Trump. You need to move over to the other sidewalk because these are not good people that are walking towards you. You should be afraid of them. Oh. Oh, yo, it is so, like, it is this, so the moisture, man, like, seriously, it's so damp in here. Moore joked that the other guy with the group, or the 3 whites, like him and didn't vote for Trump. We're traitors to our race. That's how they see us, more said of pro-Trump white people. This followed a discussion of the Flint water crisis in which Moore would not rule out that black people were targeted as a reason for the ongoing problem. And okay, so that was a part of the podcast that I guess we're coming in on, and we're talking about Flint. And I don't particularly believe black people were targeted when it came to Flint. I believe that the elected officials that represented those areas were the most susceptible to this type of be used in the manner in which it all ended up just breaking down. Somebody came through to talk to the mayors, talk to the council reps and stuff like that. Those mayors and council reps got their checks, and they they did the whole water switching thing, and now those people are out there drinking flammable freaking water. Which is I'm still not sure what the status of that is. Didn't Jaden Smith? I thought Jaden Smith fixed that, didn't he? Didn't Jaden Smith fix the Flint water crisis? I saw some memes. I saw some memes around that. But either ways, man, Michael Moore, you are a fool, and you are not to be taken seriously by any stretch of your imagination. And it's not me coming from some type of alt-right, alt-white type position. It's just that you don't speak of the groups like that. If you were to say this about any other group, it wouldn't be able to fly. So don't say it about the one you're a part of. We have eyes, Michael Moore. Stop griping against your own. No offense. I'm not going to be upset about it. No, by all means. We're not supposed to sit here and cry and go after the groups. When individuals mess up, then we point at the individuals and we go after them. We go hard at them. But when it comes to the group, bruh, calm down. All right. So with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you like to toss up like dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share because sharing is caring. And YouTube and BitChute and aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here. Bang the bell for notifications and speak. Let me know. What do you think in the comments? He's nothing more than an establishment puppet. He's nothing more than a tool. I think after you make your first couple of $1 million, you're so far gone from reality that you can only really do more harm when it comes to social structures. But you may feel differently, and that's what I have a comment section for. So till the next one.